On May 10, 2008, a Victoria team played a Dream Team from other states and territories in a one-off clash to celebrate 150 years of Australian football. To mark the 10th anniversary of this game, AFL.com.au has picked Victoria and Dream Team lineups for a hypothetical decade on Rematch, selecting from current AFL players. How they lined up 10 years ago. 2018's clash would be a mouth-watering prospect, and 2008's was no different. Lions spearhead Jonathan Brown captained the Vics in a high-octane forward line alongside Brendan Fevela. Brown's side boasted 4 future Brownlow medalists. Sam Mitchell and Adam Goodes lined up in the center, while Chris Judd and Jimmy Bartle were on the ball. Dual Norm Smith medalist Andrew McLeod skippered a Dream Team studded with stars including Matthew Richardson, Matthew Pavlich and a 21-year-old Lance Franklin at full forward. Get the footy quiz every Friday. Subscribe for free with the AFL on Messenger. Victoria, 2008 B. Campbell Brown, Matthew Scarlett, Darren Milburn HB, Heath Shaw, Trent Crode, Jared Whitek, Brent Harvey, Sam Mitchell, Adam Goodes, Ryan O'Keefe, Jonathan Brown, Robert Murphy, Steve Johnson, Brendan Fevela, Daniel Bradshaw, Troy Simmons, Jimmy Bartle, Chris Judy, C. Extended bench, Josh Fraser, Luke Power, Paul Chapman, James Kelly, Nathan Foley, Scott Pendlebury, Joel Selwood. Dream Team, 2008 B. Graham Deancock, Ben Rutten, Craig Bolton HB, Andrew McLeod, Matthew Pavlich, Adam Cooney C, Matthew Richardson, Daniel Carr, Sean Burgoyne, Simon Goodwin, Cameron Mooney, Daniel Motlap F. Brett Burton, Lance Franklin, Leon Davis Fall, Dean Cox, Peter Burgoyne, Kane Corney C, Extended bench, Nathan Bach, Jamie Charman, Joel Corey, Matthew Stokes, Brett Kirk, Corey Enright, Ryan Griffin. How it unfolded. 2008's All-Star sides delivered a shootout in front of 69,294 fans in full party mode at the MCG. McLeod and Peter Burgoyne led the way as the Dream Team started best, swamping the Vics in an opening term marred by an ankle injury to Dream Teamer and West Coast Jet Daniel Carr. Victoria's Ryan O'Keefe squares up to Dream Teamer Daniel Motlop. Picture, AFL photos. But it was Goodes and Jed who turned the tide for the Vics after quarter time, with the Brownlow winners calling the shots. Electric forward Steve Johnson bagged 2 goals for the Vics, Brown kicked 3 and Fevela a match-winning 6. A young Franklin impressed with 4 goals for the Dream Teamers, playing on his Hawthorn teammate Trent Crode. You can watch the highlights above, and the final scores were: Victoria 3.69.8, 14.9, 21.11, 137, Dream Team 5.48.6, 15.8, 18.12, 120. Fevela took out the Alan Aylett medal for Best of Field and afterwards called the match the highlight of his career. Remarkably, 7 players from the match are still active: Franklin, Sean Burgoyne, Ryan Griffin, Heath Shaw, Jared Waite, Scott Pendlebury and Joel Selwood. Dream Team captain and Crow superstar Andrew McLeod leads the chasing pack. Picture, AFL photos. How we picked the 2018 sides as our 10 years on All-Star matches this weekend. Players have been selected based on their 2018 form and fitness. If the player is unavailable this weekend, he cannot be selected. We have, however, included those who are a chance of playing despite an injury cloud. The state of origin criteria is as follows. A state could only claim ownership of a player if he had played his junior football U15 U18 in that state. The player's birthplace was considered irrelevant. Overseas players were aligned to the Dream Team. Our 2018 Victoria Team B: Tom Stewart, Robbie Tarrant, Michael Hibbert HB, James Sicily, Michael Hurley, Cade Simpson C, Jackson McRae, Trent Cotchin, Andrew Gaff HF, Steelside Bottom, Jeremy Cameron, Sean Higgins F, Charlie Curnow, Patrick Dangerfield, Robbie Gray Fall, Max Gunn, Dustin Martin, Clayton Oliver I C, Adam Trelaw, Joel Selwood, Ollie Wines, Marcus Bontempelli Unlucky, Daniel Talia, Scott Pendlebury, Kane Lambert, Dylan Shield. The selection committee says, as selectors we didn't have too many key forwards to choose from. For the leading 10 goal kickers in the competition, only one, Jeremy Cameron, qualifies for the Victorian lineup. Injury and form hasn't helped the forward setup, with Eddie Betts and Joe Danaher struggling and Gold Coast's Tom Lynch out with a knee injury. So we went a little left field with our front six, plonking Brownlow medalist Patrick Dangerfield at full forward and having Carlton youngster Charlie Curnow there as another marking option with Cameron. The backline was a little more steady, and strong enough to keep Daniel Talia out of the selected side, while we are confident this Victorian midfield would get the job done against the Dream Team. Dustin Martin combining with Ollie Wines, Clayton Oliver, Jackson McRae, Steelside Bottom and Andrew Gaff, under the tap work of Max Gunn, would be something to behold. Vic teammates Adam Goods, L, and Jonathan Brown take a breather in 2008. Picture, AFL photos. The bench's midfield dominated as well, but Marcus Bontempelli has been picked to provide some forward coverage. He can play as a taller option close to goal or a more versatile one. Kane Lambert is unlucky, as he has become a proven performer, but the star power of some other Victorian players won out. Callum Twomey, Chairman, Mitch Cleary, Ben Guthrie. Road to the Draft Podcast. Magpie Recruiter spills the beans. Our 2018 Dream Team B, Rory Laird, Alex Rance, Elliot UHB, Shannon Hearn, Alex Pierce, Jeremy Howick, Bryce Gibbs, Tom Mitchell, Isaac Smith HF, Charlie Cameron, Lance Franklin, Luke Bruce F, Jack Darling, Ben Brown, Mark Leckers Fall, Brody Grundy, Nat Fife, Stephen Caniglio I.C., Lachie Neal, Patrick Cripps, Jesse Hogan, Jared Pollock unlucky, Jack Rewalt, Jeremy McGovern, Brad Shepard, Tim Kelly. The selection committee says there were some difficult and contentious decisions to make when putting together this 22. Fremantle defender Alex Pierce has been outstanding in his return from a long-term leg injury and gets in ahead of Jeremy McGovern. Lance Franklin has missed the past 2 games for Sydney, but he's a chance of taking on his old side Hawthorn on Friday night, so we've got him in. Jack Rewalt is on standby if Buddy is a late scratching. Dockers star Michael Walters was penciled in, but since he's sidelined, West Coast goal sneak Mark Leckers comes in after a cracking start to the season. The form of Brody Grundy couldn't be ignored, getting the nod ahead of Aaron Sandilands, Jared Witts and Sam Jacobs. Last year's All-Australian, Paddy Ryder, wasn't considered, having played just 2 games due to an Achilles injury. Ben Brown can give Grundy a chop out in the ruck. The midfield is stacked with talent: Tom Mitchell, Nat Fife, Stephen Caniglio, Bryce Gibbs, Patrick Cripps and Lachie Neal. But there was no room for Brisbane's 3-time best and fairest Dane Zorko, who apart from last Sunday's massive game against Collingwood, has been quiet to start the season. Underrated Eagles backman Brad Shepard is extremely stiff, and Tim Kelly's sensational debut season at Geelong almost earned the mature age recruit a spot on the bench. Lee Gaskin, Chairman, Adam Curley, Travis King, Michael Whiting. Who wins? We think you're the best judge of that. Have your say on the poll below.